Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Now I know it's been quite some time that I've put any new content on YouTube lately. I've just been really busy. Last week I went to Jersey and played a show with the band, so I've been out of town, I've been sick. But regardless, I've thought of something that would be really cool that I wanted to put out for you guys. Now there's certain things that, in my opinion, make a great game. One is storyline, gameplay, music. But another thing is the boss battles. There's something about, beating a level and getting to that final boss and having some sort of challenge or some unique objective in order to advance to the next level or go through the game that really makes a game shine. So I decided to make a top 10 most memorable boss battles. Now the way I did this is basically I sat down and I thought of 10 boss battles on top of my head that obviously must be really memorable because it's the first ones I thought about. So here's my little countdown, so check it out.
Number 10.
Now, Metal Gear Solid had many great boss battles, but I think the one that sticks out was the Psycho Mantis battle. Now, it was this point that it seemed the game was starting to take a darker tone, and Mantis welcomed it with open arms. From the beginning, he is diving into your mind, making your controller vibrate, and until you figure it out that you plug your controller into port 2, he knew your every single move.
Number 9.
While Arkham Asylum revolutionized the way we look at superhero video games, I have to say my most memorable boss battle was in Arkham City, and that was against Mr. Freeze. Something about the cat and mouse mechanics with our world's greatest detective. It was a lot of fun, and it kind of made me think of the Vulcan Raven boss battle in Metal Gear Solid.
Number 8.
The NES Bible games get a bad rap. Yeah, they're pretty bad, but Spiritual Warfare actually is a guilty pleasure of mine. And while it may rip off The Legend of Zelda, the final boss battle was pretty awesome. Come on, you battled a big purple Satan. Case closed. I recommend you play this game at least once.
Number 7.
One of the things that constantly went through my head when I was first playing Resident Evil is who's the boss going to be? Because I knew the end of the game was coming near, and I remember when I first ran into the Tyrant, and just knowing that shit was about to go down. I mean, seeing the water or fluid drain and seeing him bust out, kill Wesker if you got that ending, and just seeing the different camera angles. It had that tongue-in-cheek slasher feel of Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees chasing you down. But the only difference is Tyrant was a force to be reckoned with his huge claw and your limited ammo. Your days were definitely numbered, and if you were fortunate enough to beat him, then it was time to check your pants and crack open another cold one.
Number 6.
Now, Sonic City is one of my favorite Sonics of all time, and the boss battle I really enjoyed in that game was against Metal Sonic. It always seemed like you were outsmarting Dr. Eggman in previous battles in the Sonic series, but this one was a test of endurance. It was kind of putting your name on the line. Speed. So while it was very enjoyable and very frustrating, it was a pretty kick-ass boss battle.
Number 5.
Now, Mega Man had some great battles throughout the series, but one I wanted to put on this countdown was the last battle with Dr.Wily and Mega Man 2 in his alien form. It was pretty much unbeatable unless you used the weakest power-up in the game, those freaking bubbles. I thought it was pretty funny. That was a great ending to one of my favorite NES games of all time.
Number 4.
This is still one of my favorite Bowser battles. Super Mario World went out with a bang with this epic fight, showing off the new mechanics that you learned on your journey. From throwing Mecha Koopas straight into the air to spin jumping on fire from the sky. One of the coolest moments was, of course, sending Bowser would look like he was going to go straight into the television.
Number 3.
Now, I've had many battles with Dracula, but I have to say Dracula X on the Super Nintendo is by far one of the hardest Dracula battles I've ever had to endure. Not only did you have to memorize the patterns of Dracula going from one screen to the other, shooting out his trademark fireballs, but you also had these platforms that you had to stay on top of. But getting used to the patterns and having pure luck on my side, I finally beat Dracula, and I have to say, don't even get me started on his second form.
Number 2.
Next up on the countdown is the final battle in Earthbound. What an insane way to end an insane game. Now this boss battle has a lot of urban legends and myths behind it, but there's no denying that this is a very weird battle for such a unique game. From its fetus looking atmosphere and weird sounds, and even breaking the fourth wall where the players are actually asking you for prayer to help finish the battle, which is really crazy. And when the battle was over, you felt a oneness with your characters.
Number 1.
Number 1, my most memorable boss battle is against Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII. This to me is the granddaddy of epicness, from the music to the 30-minute fight that followed. I remember I was fueled with vengeance with the death of Aerith. And on a side note, the battle was a little easier once you beat the Emerald weapon and got all the Master Materia and summoned Knights of the Round, which even Emerald weapon was, well, that's a whole different thing to talk about.
But anyway, guys, that's my top 10 most memorable boss battles. Now, I would love to hear some memorable boss battles from you guys. Leave a comment below or make a video response. I'd love to hear from you. But anyway, guys, thanks for all the support and thanks for subscribing. And as always, happy gaming.